Hard to believe 40 years ago, Sade's debut album came out. Now, it came out in the summer and in Europe, and then it came over to the States in February of 85, but the singles were released. But it was nothing like it. It was the smooth lounge blend of R&B pop, soft light jazz. You really couldn't put a description on it, but you knew when you heard it. It was a British band along with Sade, and the original name of the band was called Pride. And they were like, it was kind of like a version of kind of what Spandau Ballet had done with True. When you think about that, that kind of had opened up that floodgates. But this thing took off, which of course people to this day are still running behind Sade, and they still run behind it. They still run because wherever she is. But at that time, can you imagine the beginning of Sade? Unlike any other artistry that I can recall, because talk about an artist that gets to do what they want, how they want, when they want, where they want. Sade could put out an album out tomorrow. I guarantee you it'll do numbers, go on tour, and then she'll go back to her cocoon and you won't hear from her for like 5, 10 years. There's only a handful of artists that I can think of that have been able to pull that hocus pocus trick off, and people were waiting. I know Michael Jackson was one of them because obviously after Thriller and all that, he used to put out records a whole lot, but after Thriller, he took his time with Bad and everything became like a 4 year wait or so on. He did it. And you got D'Angelo doing it. And of course, it's Frankie Beverly Mason. Matter of fact, Frankie Beverly said in one of his interviews, he said that if he had to work with somebody, it would have been Sade because of the styling and the blend. But it never came to fruition. But that was a wish I think both of them were kind of hinting at. But nevertheless, this record 40 years ago, Smooth Operator was such a distinctive cut. Her tone and vibe was so cool. And then you had Your Love is King. That song just resonated. She just had a certain aura and elegance and a styling that it didn't sound like nothing on the radio at the time. It definitely hit the adult contemporary format, but also hit R&B and pop. What I'm going to say is this. I think that audiences back then were more balanced with accepting of different stylings than they are now. And they would, when in the embrace, I still think you can still do it. There are artistry that still does it, but I think they were really open to it. I will say, as a teen and going to school back then, I don't care who was hiding happening in the streets. Sade was getting their due. Sade was getting that due. Sade was getting that respect. So there was room for everybody, you know. And you could say Sade's styling was like a younger version of Al Jarreau, who was very popular still. But I'm just saying, people had more flex as far as what was happening. And you did have hip hop starting to come up at the time, but with old school R&B, new R&B, you had the synthesizer, synth pop, and different things. But there was room for everybody. That's what it comes down to. And yet people embraced the Diamond Life album. It was a big time seller. It was one of those records that, again, I remember people like really gravitating towards it, talking about it, feeling it. So, she definitely got our respect and what artistry and, it says a lot about when you can listen to it and you just take that all in. It's just like, wow. That just goes to show that, people who respect music, they just going by the craftsmanship of it. It's nothing, your voice and just feeling. The songs were well written. They still sound like standards. I'll tell you right now, you could take Your Love is King and Smooth Operator and put them behind somebody, and that songs would still hold up. That's how impactful it was. It's just hard when I think about it because, see, people don't understand. We didn't say 40 months or 4 years. We said 40 years. And you can still listen to it. It's not a lot of people you can say that about. That's not a lot of people you can say that about, you know. And you just kind of like marvel at the distinctiveness of that blend. Sade puts you in the same frame of mind as Luther Vandross. And and people got it misconstrued. They looked at it as romantic and seductive when the tone of the music, because of because of the way you're going by the arrangement of it. But if you listen to the complexities and the pain, it was anything but romantic. It was dealing with heartache and pain, but it was done so well that that's the art and artistry and the greatness of it. Why does it do it? So 40 years ago, Sade's Diamond Life premiered. If you have any reflections of it, feel free to share. Let me know how Sade's been a part of your world, so on and so forth. And Sade and them should be in the Hall of Fame too, by the way. I'm just going to keep it 100. because you really ain't heard no one else like her and what they did. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear. Watch out for another share if you like. Hit that membership because when you make requests, I bring them back to you. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay real. I'm out one time. Peace.